Mr. Vice President, I was just wondering if you could speak about your, first of all, your trip here today to Lordstown and the new vehicles that are coming out. What are some of the things the administration can do to help companies like this get started off?
Well, from the first day of our administration, President Trump has been putting American jobs and American workers first. And today's announcement here at Lordstown Motors, this exciting new electric vehicle behind me, more than 14,000 pre-orders, is all a testament to the people of this community, to the work ethic of the people of Ohio. And we really believe that the record of this administration, whether it be cutting taxes, rolling back regulations, fighting for free and fair trade, renegotiating NAFTA, the USMCA is about to take effect, all proved again and again to the people of Ohio that they have a fighter in President Donald Trump who's been fighting for jobs in this state. And today's new beginning here in Lordstown is one more example of a president that's always going to fight for jobs right here in the Buckeye State and all across America.
I was also wondering, are there any other projects you think the administration might have in mind for, not just for Lordstown specifically, but for the region to, I know with the plant closing last year, to help replace the jobs that were lost?
Well, as you know, President Trump made it clear that he wanted to see this Lordstown plant rolling. And today's announcement of Lordstown Motors standing up their initial team with the plan of hiring as many as 600 to 800 people here at the new Lordstown Motors plant is just one more example of the president being a champion for this community. But look, before the coronavirus pandemic struck, we had seen these policies that we'd put into effect create more than 7 million jobs, including 500,000 manufacturing jobs. The last administration actually said that you'd need a magic wand to bring manufacturing back. Well, we didn't need that. We just needed a president who understood that less taxes, less regulation, more free and fair trade is the way that we create jobs, automotive jobs, right here in Ohio and all across America. And as we work every day to put this coronavirus pandemic in the past, I promise you the president and I are going to keep fighting, keep working to create more investment and more jobs. And we're already beginning to see this great American comeback kicking in. 2.5 million jobs created last month alone as we're opening up America in all 50 states. But I think the people of Ohio know that come this November, President Donald Trump has the right prescription to create jobs, to bring this economy all the way back and then some. And that's why I think they're going to vote for 4 more years for President Trump in the White House.
And the final question I had, since we were originally supposed to meet you at the Youngstown Police Department, so I had a question about law enforcement. I was just curious about what kind of things the federal government can do for places like Youngstown that has both a high poverty rate and also a high level of gun violence, do to help with that.
President Trump and I believe that most of the men and women who put on the uniform of law enforcement every day are the very best people in this country. Nobody hates bad cops more than good cops. And I was anxious to go by the Youngstown Police Department because here's a community that's actually embracing new training for the use of force and has brought together community leaders to be able to participate in that. To me, it's an example of how in the days ahead, we're not going to defund the police. And also, we're not going to make a choice between supporting law enforcement or supporting our African American community. We're going to do what Youngstown is doing. We're going to do both. We're going to bring our communities together, and that's why it was unconscionable yesterday when Democrats in the Senate actually voted to block Senator Tim Scott's police reform bill. I mean, it was a legislation that Senator Robert Portman had worked on, and it brought together some common sense solutions to move our country forward. But to see Democrats in the Senate actually block that legislation, be unwilling even to begin debate on that legislation, I think we all shared the same frustration that Senator Scott spoke of on the floor. But we're going to keep working. The president signed executive action, and as I said, we're going to support law enforcement. We're not going to defund the police. Quite the contrary, we're going to fund additional resources for the kind of training and use of force and de-escalation that the Youngstown Police Department has been leading the way on. We're going to bring communities together, and we're also going to continue the work of improving the lives and educational opportunities for African Americans all across this country. You know, President Trump and I couldn't be more proud that under our administration we had the lowest unemployment ever recorded for African Americans, record investment in historically black colleges and universities, thousands of opportunity zones inviting investment into our African American communities. So while we work to improve public safety, work to support law enforcement and our African American neighbors, we're also going to continue to work to expand educational opportunities and job opportunities for African Americans and all the families in our cities.